It is safe to say that humans are a wasteful species. As stated by the World Bank, cities around the world generate more than 2 billion tons of waste. In the United States alone, we produce enough trash to reach the moon and back 25 times. Unfortunately, with current efforts, we are only recycling about 32% of this trash globally. Hello, I am your host, Mike Lake, and in this preview, I will be talking with Jakub Sikowski about his company, Bini, and its ability to enable cities to make their waste management systems much more sustainable.
Innovation, resiliency, discovery. Join Mike Lake, President and CEO of Leading Cities, as we explore the technologies shaping the possibilities of our future with a preview of tomorrow.
Hello and welcome, Jakub.
Hello, Mike.
It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, I also want to welcome all of our listeners. I'd love to introduce you all to Jakub Sikowski, the Business Development Manager for Bini, a company that has created an AI-based smart waste bin designed for public places and enabling them to achieve efficiency in waste management and reach green strategy goals. Now, Jakub, before we get into Bini and this challenge that exists around waste, something we all contribute to, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to get to this place with Bini and worrying and working on waste collection.
Okay, so hello, Michael. Thank you for this introduction. I think it was like a rich in information, since like the goal we are trying to achieve is also quite complex in terms of the journey we have to go through, but quite simple in terms of what we are trying to achieve. But I believe it's something that we'll also have a time to discuss. We in Bini, in this current shape, with this solution that we are on the market for right now around 3.5 years. So at that time we had a premiere of the prototype of our device in Austria, in Vienna. So once I look back, I think like we went quite a journey, especially when we look at our devices, how they worked, how it worked then and how it works now. So yes, definitely like the current trends and the attitude towards sustainability and sustainable development helped us to grow, and also we managed to offer a solution which enables that. So that was a quite interesting journey. And as you mentioned, at Bini, I'm responsible for new business and business development. So I also have a great opportunity to meet with different nationalities and different markets. And what I see they have in common is that the waste segregation problem is not specifically connected with only one market, but it's quite a common problem that we are facing.
Well, that's exactly right. And as I said in the opening here, that truly every one of us on the planet is contributing to this problem. In fact, I know the World Bank has estimated that by 2025, just 4 years from now, we'll be generating more than 2 billion tons of waste. So let's talk a little bit more about this challenge. Waste is not going anywhere. It's increasing. And as I keep saying, we all contribute to it. So what does this situation really look like?
Yeah. So definitely you are 100% right. The waste is not going anywhere. Quite the opposite. We are producing more and more. So that's the problem. It wouldn't be such a big problem if we would know what to do with that waste, and if we knew how to recycle it, how could we reuse it, so that we would not produce more and more bottles, packagings, foils, etc. But it is crucial in terms of the future to find a efficient and effective way to reuse the materials already used for the production of existing materials and products. And to give you an overview and also the service we've made and the service which are available once you look into the online. Right now, on average, the amount of waste we produce is one thing, and the efficiency of recycling of those materials is right now on the level of about 30%, which means that only 30% of waste that we are producing today is recycled, so that it gets a second life. The rest goes either into the landfills, or even worse, it can go into the oceans, or goes into the woods, etc. Of course, it depends on how people approach this situation. And what can be done in order to increase those recycling rate? Something that we can do on a daily basis as a consumers is something that we can do on basically every time we want to dispose something. And it is the fact that every time we should think and we should act properly in terms of good and efficient waste segregation, so that we can be sure that everything that should be disposed in plastic bin, in bin designed for plastic waste or glass waste, should go to that specific bin. But right now, people either don't have time to do it properly, or don't know how to do it properly, or sadly to say, but they just simply don't care about it. So that's the problem right now. The waste production is one thing, but the bigger problem is that what we are doing with our waste on a daily basis, and the outcome is that we do not separate it correctly, so that the recycling process cannot be as efficient as the system would like it to be.
So really, not only are we all contributing to the problem by creating more waste, but we're also contributing to the problem where that which can be recycled isn't, because we haven't separated it or treated it properly.
Yes, like that's the let's say the first step in the whole process of recycling, something that we are contributing to, something like the segregation at the very source, like on the first line. So this is something that everyone, me and you and all our listeners, could have in mind the next time they are going to, they will be standing next to the recycling islands, let's say.
So tell us a bit more now about Bini and how that helps to resolve this problem.
Yeah, perfect. So taking this into consideration, what I have already described, and having this knowledge and knowing how people behave, we've learned that the most fragile factor in the whole recycling chain is the human factor, sadly. So having this knowledge, we wanted to apply a technology for this process, because these days, like also many processes inside our offices and inside commercial facilities are getting automatized. We can reduce the amount of water we use in our offices, the amount of energy. We can keep an eye on this, so that our facilities are more sustainable. And knowing that this is the trend right now, we wanted to apply also a technology, and to be precise, an AI-based technology also for waste management aspect. And what we came up with is the Bini, the device that's named after the name of our company. And Bini, to put it simply, uses this AI-based technology, image-based recognition to be precise, in order to automatically recognize people's waste, so that afterwards it could be also later automatically separated and separated into proper bins. So to give you a perspective from the user standpoint, once you have something to get rid of, you just approach the device, then it automatically opens. There's only one chamber, and after throwing the object over there, Bini will automatically detect what it is, and based on this decision, it will place an object in a correct bin inside, dedicated for this specific fraction. So that's the main idea.
So you're basically taking the human factor out of it, and let's face it, we can't all be trusted to do it right, as the data shows. Now let me ask you something. Without Bini, if 99% or 90% or whatever it is of people sort properly, and one person comes along and contaminates that perfectly sorted bag of waste with something that doesn't belong in it, how damaging is that to the process?
Yeah, so of course, like the cleaner the waste or the cleaner fraction is, the better. That's quite obvious, because at the end of the day, it also depends on what scale we are looking at. Because let's take, for instance, the office area or our workplaces. We are, let's say, we do have our office on a fifth floor, and let's assume that everyone in our office do it correctly, and everything goes as it should go, and everybody is there. The company is keeping an eye on education, and they are underlining the necessity of these actions. But at the end of the day, when waste in general is collected, so then the waste is collected from the whole building, and if the building, let's assume, has 6 floors, so then from each floor all the waste is collected, and then it's mixed in the cellar, in the place where which is designed for waste collection. So in order to achieve the high accuracy of waste sorting, we have to look at it from the bigger perspective. In order to provide a proper infrastructure, the whole, either is it building or is it like a very specific office, because the individual actions can be very often can be diminished if the whole building or the bigger amount of people will not act properly. But to answer your question, of course, the cleaner the fraction is, the better. So even if we have let's say the 90% of plastic in the bin designed for plastic, so this is already a good sign, and this is already something that the recycling companies, the companies responsible for further processes, can already take it into consideration, and the whole process can be also cheaper and more efficient.
So again, I mean, you're increasing the efficiency of the whole system by taking that human factor out, but simultaneously making it easier for the consumer to actually recycle. It's
Yes.
brilliant.
That's the goal, and also on the one side, we prefer to call it is that we are using technology in order to serve people and users on this matter, because there is also an educational aspect on our device. So the decision that the device makes on the recognition process is also displayed on the screen, so that the user also sees how the certain object was recognized, in order to follow these good practices later on when there is no technology for that.
Oh, very smart. So let's look out, 10, 20, 50 years from now, and the Bini technology is everywhere. It's global. What does that mean? What does it mean for an individual? What does it mean for the city? What does it mean for the world at large?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, like if the infrastructure would consist, let's say, of Binis or similar solutions, similar solutions that are providing the similar benefits, so that's for sure would let us to limit the production of the new materials, so that we would the whole economy, let's say, would be based on reused materials. We could close the cycle, of this, of producing, recycling, and giving the second life for it, and then collecting the used materials. So if we could close this cycle, this for sure would give us the new possibilities in terms of the manufacturing process, in terms of the new sources of materials, in terms of for sure pricing as well. Of the objects on the objects and products we are buying in our shops. So that for sure would be more sustainable also in terms of the landfills would not be filled with waste unfit for the recycling. So we are getting back a huge amount, huge area, which is right now dedicated for this kind of waste. And also, when you look at it from the environmental perspective, I'm sure that all of us has seen the situation that this waste garbage island on the oceans. So that's something like the terrifying right now, and this is caused because of our everyday actions. And of course, in a bigger picture in terms of the whole economy. But once we get this process under control, and so it will be something that we could really keep an eye on and we could manage efficiently. So that's the right path and the right direction in order to also in order to solve the problem of such landfills and situations like with this garbage island on the ocean. So that's for sure.
So tell us, if anybody is listening or watching wants to learn more or get in contact with Bini, what's the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. So if this idea sounds interesting for anyone, so first of all, we invite you on our website. It's bini.world, BINE.world. Where you can find more information about our solution as well. On the other hand, we are present on LinkedIn. It's Bini as the name of our company. Then you can find our profile and also my personal account. My personal account is Jakub Sakowski, which you can also find on LinkedIn. We are as well on Twitter and Facebook, so basically across the social media, it's easy to find us. And I really hope that the once you go in the near future to your shopping center, to the hotel, being on the vacation, then you will have the possibility to get some time with our device and try it how it works. So hopefully we will also have a chance to meet this way.
Well, Jakub, thank you so much again for joining us today. And thank you to you and the whole team at Bini for the work you're doing. I mean, clearly, we all want to be recycling and reducing the impact we have on our environment. But it's solutions like Bini that make it more possible for us to do it effectively. So thank you so much. We look forward to seeing your success in the future.
Perfect. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and it was a pleasure, Michael, to describe you and to all the listeners how we could contribute. And I hope that after this episode, each one of us next time when we'll go to dispose some of our waste, we will think if we are doing it the way it should be done. So hopefully it will also have some educational aspect.
Absolutely. I know I could be more educated on it. Well, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, Michael.
And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Preview of Tomorrow. Listeners like you are essential to advancing our efforts to drive resiliency and sustainability for all. I ask that you give us a rating on Apple Podcasts or whichever streaming platform you prefer. Your feedback helps us to grow and share these brief previews of what life in the future can be. In addition to thanking our guest today, I want to thank Peter Roy and Demetria Bridges for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and encourage others to also join us each week in previewing the possibilities of tomorrow.
Preview of Tomorrow is brought to you by Leading Cities, a global nonprofit driving resilience and sustainability for all by unleashing the potential of the world's cities. Join them at leadingcities.org.